heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at none other than the SH Figuarts Naruto Shippuden Jiriyah Sama exclusive edition. And this is a figure you guys already knew that I was going to get my hands on. So let's not waste any time and dive right into that sexy packaging. Now for the box, it isn't anything that we haven't already seen before. It does have this theme-ish type color to it. It's almost like this grayish green. You can see hints of green, gray, white, and everything in there. It's just like a very lightly saturated color. You guys will see it if you pick it up. Anyway, we've got an image of him using the Rasengan right here. On the front, you can see the window where you can see the figure. It says Naruto Shippuden at the bottom, exclusive edition. Tamashii Nation's Bandai. This really dope art right here on the side. I love when they do this. You can tell where it transitions from figure to actual art, and I just love stuff like that. On the bottom right here, we've got an image of him looking really dope with that signature smile. Full body image on this side, it does say Jiriyah exclusive edition right there. And then on the back, you got the figure as well as some poses you can get it into, and then some stuff at the bottom no one really cares about. Then we got this little piece right here kind of sticking out. But anyway, let's go ahead and bust this figure open, because you guys know when it's something Naruto, I'm excited to talk about it. Now, first things first, the question that I already know someone is getting ready to type in the comments: where did I get this figure? I ended up getting this from a buddy on Instagram who happened to be at Anime Expo, and he was able to pick it up for me for a decent price. Now, when I say a decent price, I do want to stress that this figure was still expensive. It cost me a little bit more than I really wanted to pay, but it's Naruto, so you know I had to have it. But that being said, it is going to be showcased and for sale at San Diego Comic-Con, and I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to go to that, so hopefully after SDCC it will also go up for at least pre-order on Premium Bandai. Now that's not something I know for certain is going to happen, but I really hope Bandai makes that move, because for anyone who missed out on this figure initially, he's definitely worth the pickup, which is why I'm gonna try not to spend too much time talking about it. Just go watch my regular review. We're just gonna talk about how great this one is. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this guy and examine some of the details. Taking an up close look, I did go ahead and swap out the crossed arms for the regular arms, just because for review purposes this is more so what we're going to want to see anyway. This guy looks very good, man. The paintwork on this figure is nice, and to be honest, I thought that the first release was so amazing, but now obviously this one's just going to pop a bit more, because they do tend to go all in on the exclusives. The hair on this version is much more gray slash silver. It has quite a bit of shading in it all the way down the ponytail, and then even along the spikes in here. It has a bit of a shine, not much. And I'm trying to push his arm up, but even the jacket, it's much more red. The shirt isn't too much more vibrant than the original, or the entire gi actually. It's still like this faded green as it's supposed to be, but it does still pop a bit more than the original, which I'll go ahead and show because I have him right here. You guys can totally see the differences. This is, I believe, the same face. As you can see, the eyes on the new one are a bit smaller than the old one, and honestly, it's up to you which you prefer. They both look good, man. I don't really have a preference, but I did notice this actually. The nose is a little bit bigger on this old one. Maybe these faces are a tad bit smaller on the new one. I'm not entirely sure. Later on I'll show them all side by side, but the nose is definitely different. I can't tell if anything else is. I don't think so, because the body appears to be the exact same, and I doubt that they would just make the head smaller. Maybe they made just the faces themselves smaller. I guess, I don't know, but then that kind of throws it off of proportion if they did that, because I feel like the old one is a bit more proportioned correctly. But either way, from head to toe, they both look good. The scroll is about the same, not too much different there. And then, like I said, the green on this one is a bit more green, if that's even saying much. You guys probably can't even tell on camera. And and the skin tone also. This one is a little bit more yellowish than this one. This is kind of like a faded color. Both of them look really good. It's hard to say which is better. It just boils down to preference. And because I was curious and couldn't wait, I had to take it apart and take a look at these. The head is still the same size, but the cheeks are more narrow on this newer version. They're a bit more kind of, I guess, flared out on this old version. I don't know. He just has puffy cheeks. That's the only difference. But it gives the illusion that this head is actually bigger than the new one. That's not the case. Now, I think for proportion wise, the old one does it a little bit better, but the faceplates on the new one do look better. So yeah, I like it either way, but I do wish they would have stuck with this look for the head size and everything. Now, when it comes to the height on this guy, to the top of his head, he is tall as he should be. He is pushing 6 inches, which is going to make him probably the tallest Figuarts Naruto figure, I would imagine. I don't think there's any taller than him, but of course we'll be doing some size comparisons later. And one thing I forgot to throw out there is exactly what was happening right now. This figure is pretty difficult to stand. I forgot to throw that in the earlier part of the review, but yeah, just be prepared because these sandals are no game when it comes to posing this guy around. Speaking of posing, we'll get into the articulation. Articulation wise, this figure does pretty much everything you're going to need it to. He looks up a very good amount. He looks down only about that much, but it's not going to stay because the hair is a hard enough plastic to where if you push it down, it's just going to pop back up, which is good because you don't have to worry about them warping. He does get all kinds of tilt turn and all that good stuff at the neck, so that won't be a problem. He does have a ball peg for his ponytail, so you can move this around however you want to. You can get it in those wind blowing poses, no problem whatsoever. When it comes to the arms, they go up and out about that much, which I think that's fine. That's not bad at all. Now, when it comes to the butterfly joint, this is where they did a great job because man, look at that. That is awesome. Obviously, there's going to be some gap at the back, but still, from the front, you can get him in those Rasengan poses or summoning poses. Absolutely no problem. He does have a bicep swivel that works fine. Double jointed elbows. Hands are on a ball peg. You get very little limitation. You can move these around however you want. At the just hit the camera. At the diaphragm, he doesn't really look back much, but he does lean forward. Let's see, I'm trying to split it from the waist. Basically, the waist articulation all around here is amazing. And this guy can move, swivel, tilt, turn, you name it. It is all there. So posability at the waist, that is good. Now, one problem is when you start to pose him too much, the faceplate will come off. And that fell on the floor, so I'll pick that up for the next segment. I'm going to move the head up so you guys won't see that anyway. Now, he kicks all the way out, so that won't be a problem. He can do the splits, and this is a soft enough plastic to where it doesn't hinder too much, but it is a little bit in there. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, foot goes down about that much, up about that much, really good rocker. And then he does have a toe hinge. As you guys can see, the foot does separate from the sandal, so the toe hinge actually is going to come from the foot and not the sandal itself, in case you didn't know that. So articulation wise, very good, man. There's not really a whole lot I think they could have done to make this any better. I am more than satisfied. Now, when it comes to the accessories, he comes with pretty much the same things that the original one came with, except for the fact that he comes with an additional faceplate. Now, first off, you get this neutral head sculpt, which has the signature Jiriyah smile and a pair of fist hands. And like I said, I'm going to show off the new faceplates with the old ones. The new ones are going to be on the right. Here is the new eye closed smiling face, and then here is the old one. I honestly think that the new one looks a lot better. I think the slimmer eyes on this one just make it look a little bit better. Then they also fixed this faceplate, which I didn't particularly care for. It looks so much better on this newer one. I love that they painted that and fixed it up. It just looks, in my opinion, more accurate to the anime. Now, one I think the old one did better is the teeth gritted face. Not because of the eyes or the paint, but in the seriousness of it, because it's kind of like a smirk on here, almost like these are not the same faceplates. I'm not entirely sure, but they are the closest in resemblance, so I'm guessing that they are supposed to be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is also a completely new faceplate. I couldn't tell you, but yeah, either way, it was something to match it up to. Now, he does come with this comedic face from when he's yelling at Naruto, and I'm so glad that they threw this in. Stuff like this makes me really happy. Now, the only thing that sucks is if this is going to completely be an event exclusive and no one else is going to be able to get their hands on it if you can't buy the exclusive. That'll suck, but again, I do hope Tamashii gives this some kind of release to where everyone can get it. Now, he does come with a pair of hands, spread out hands. These are basically for summoning. He comes with two of the left ones, one without the symbol, one with the symbol. And then he comes with a pair of hands for holding the popsicles, which glad that they threw that in there. And then, of course, he does come with the popsicles, and you can give one to Naruto, or you can just have Jiraiya holding both of them, whatever you choose. He comes with this really dope Rasengan. I still think this is probably my favorite one, and if you want to take it out of the hand, as you guys can see, it is possible for you to do so. So I really do love that. And last but not least, he comes with the pair of crossed arms that he had on in the packaging. So accessory wise, you do get a ton. I wish that they had thrown in some Sage Mode faceplates, but hey, hopefully we'll get another Jiraiya figure in the future. Moving on to size comparisons, I know some of y'all are going to ask why he has a stand behind him. Honestly, it's just holding him still because I got fucking tired of trying to pose this figure. He would not stand, but we'll discuss that more in my final thoughts. Anyway, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts Naruto Shippuden Naruto, the SH Figuarts Shippuden Sakura, and the SH Figuarts Kakashi. He can be used for Shippuden or pre-Shippuden, so we just call him Kakashi. But as you can see, he stands taller than all of them, with Naruto being a little too tall. He should be smaller than this, but they do work together nonetheless. Next up, here he is standing next to some pre-Shippuden versions of Naruto and Sasuke, and of course the SH Figuarts Itachi. Here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts Boruto Uzumaki and the SH Figuarts Minato Namikaze, or the 4th Hokage. Lastly, here he is standing next to a Figma Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness Satoru Gojo, a Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, and a Mafex comic book Spider-Man with a PS4 head sculpt. Now, when it comes to my final thoughts on this figure, I gotta say it's definitely one worth having in your collection. It is Jiraiya, the sensei of the main character of the series, making him pivotal to the story, but that does not mean that this figure comes without flaws. Sadly, it comes with the same exact flaw that the original release had. The entire body of this figure is amazing except for the legs. The legs just feel like they are not the right plastic quality to support how top heavy this figure is. Now, the sandals only make it more difficult. I can't fault them for the sandals because they are accurate to what Jiraiya wears in the anime, but these legs, man, they feel like they are just not meant to hold this figure up for too long. And the reason I say that is because also, the more you pose this guy around, the more loose those legs become. Now, I've only had this figure out of the package for maybe an hour, but here we are at the end of this review, and I can barely get him to stand up. Now, obviously, I'm posing it around on fabric, so that's going to make it a little bit difficult, but even on a hard surface, sometimes this guy is just tough, especially if you're trying to get it in a vanilla or static pose where he's standing straight up. It just tumbles right over, man, and it can become very frustrating very fast. Again, now this is an issue with the original release. It just sucks because normally Tamashii Nation seemingly, in my opinion, updates the plastic quality on their event exclusives. This doesn't really feel like any kind of event exclusive to me. Yes, the paint is amazing, but they could have easily released Jiraiya like this before. It's just the fact that they added a tad bit of shading to the hair and the jacket. That's the only thing that's exclusive about this, unless you want to include the faceplate, which I don't like them including extra accessories with exclusives, because once more, sometimes people are just not able to get their hands on these, and so I don't know. Again, I do hope that this gets a regular release. We'll talk about that another time, but for now, the figure itself is definitely worth picking up if you're willing to spend the money for him. He is a bit on the pricey side. The sellers that I've seen selling him, it goes for about $150, and I'm talking places like Toy Arena. I do believe Big Bad Toy Store has or is going to get him, and then I think he's gonna go up for sale after SDCC. We'll see about that later, but anyway, hope that you guys enjoyed this review. Definitely one of my more frustrating Naruto reviews, which sucks because I really enjoy the character of Jiriyah, but yeah, anyway, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as that always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.